Imagine how amazing a world would be if you looked in the mirror and smiled every time because you like what you see. Not just physically, because you like the person that you've become. And don't do this to impress others. Okay.
If I told you that I loved you, tell me what would you say? If I told you that I hated you, would you go?
Hi guys, it's Hailey here, and yes, I did chop 10 inches off my hair, but it was for a good cause. I actually donated all my hair. I was actually not planning it for it to be this short. The lady lied. And since I cut my hair, I kind of felt a little self-conscious at first because I was like, oh my god, like my hair is short. What are people gonna think? And that's how I came up with this video idea. I'm gonna be sharing my tips and tricks that worked for me that will definitely impact your life in a positive way and help you grow out of that self-consciousness that might just really be like bugging you. We all probably know a couple people that just like turn heads when they walk into a room. Either every boy wants to date them or every girl wants to be their friend. Everyone just loves and admires and aspires to be that one girl that you're like, oh my god, like I wish I could be like her. She's so bubbly and self-confident. The only reason that person is like that is because they're 100% in peace with themselves. So that basically means that they love themselves. And I know you hear this every day, like don't forget to love yourself, don't care what others think, just love yourself. And you're like, okay, but like how? Like how does one step out of this place in their lives where they're just like everything seems like they're going downhill for them. They don't like certain parts of their face or like certain parts of their body. They're just like self-conscious about it. How does one step out of that zone and step into a more positive, confident state of mind? I keep being told that I should love myself, but no one is telling me how I can possibly achieve that. And to do that, you have to realize that everything around you is temporary. Even the house that you live in, the life that you're living in, high school, your friends right now. There'll be certain periods of times in your life when everything around you changes. The place you live in, the house you live in, the people that you're friends with. But there's one thing that's always gonna stay the same, and that's yourself. You're literally stuck with yourself forever. If you don't like a certain part of your body, there's no way that you can get rid of it unless you get plastic surgery. But sometimes things you can't change and you can't get over. So you have to learn to live with them for the rest of your life because they're not gonna go away. I say this all the time in my videos. I don't like my nose. What do I do with it? Unless I get plastic surgery, like, which is probably not gonna happen in like so many years, or maybe it's never gonna happen, but for now, I'm stuck with it, so I have to learn to make the best out of it. I have a friend called Esther, and the other day she was like, I was complaining, I was like, oh my god, like my nose is like so like, and she was like, stop it. Like your nose is what makes you unique. If we all had perfect noses and perfect features, we would all look like each other. So it's what makes us different. It's what makes us unique that counts. And I just took a step back and I was like, damn girl, you right. The most important thing is you and your mentality. So you have to learn to adapt to a more positive lifestyle. And I don't mean like, okay, let's all go do some yoga and read inspirational quotes all day long. Yay. That's okay. That's just unrealistic. But I like to think that whatever you radiate will just come back to you. So if you radiate positive vibes and kindness, it will all come back to you. So maybe you're just like, okay, Hailey, let me just be a more positive person. But how? How do I realize that I am the most important thing in my life? There are actual physical steps, because personally for me, it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna like mentally like change the way I think. It just didn't work for me that way. So I had to actually do physical things, like physical changes that would help change my mentality too. So the first thing that I did was I caught myself criticizing myself. So I take that criticization, is that a word? And I found a more positive thing to it. So like, oh, I can literally smell with my nose. I can breathe with my nose. I'm alive because I can breathe with my nose. Thanks, nose. And the number one thing that you have to do to adapt to a more positive lifestyle is to remove all negativity from your life. I'm talking about toxic friends. Not just friends, all kinds of relationships. I had friends that I felt like I had to impress every time I met up with them. Friends that judge you or like question what you do and make you question yourself. Friends are supposed to push you to do better and supposed to inspire you to become a better person. If friends are bringing you down, then they're not real friends. After you leave, you shouldn't be exhausted trying to pretend to be something you're not. I learned to respect others and be kind because you get treated how you treat people. Start off with like a simple thing like, okay, I'm gonna compliment at least 5 people every day. That way you'll train yourself to see the positive qualities of others and get treated with respect yourself. And others might be respecting you, but you have to know that you have to respect yourself too. Do you ever think back to those moments where you cringe and you get mad at yourself because you didn't respect yourself enough to stand up for yourself? If a boy's being a fuckboy, like, you could be like, you are being one. Leave. I know so many friends that are like, oh yeah, he's being a fuckboy, but like, I'm a nice person. Like, honey, you don't have to be nice to people that treat you like that. I get so mad when like random people are like being rude to girls, unrespectful, and girls don't do anything about it. And when I ask them like, why didn't you do anything about it? They're just like, I just didn't want to be rude, or I didn't want to be in an uncomfortable situation. If they're making you feel uncomfortable, they deserve to feel like that right back. You don't need validation from others. You literally only need your own validation for yourself. Your own opinion on yourself is the only opinion that counts. One thing I did is I dressed in a way that made me feel more powerful. And that doesn't mean I wore my armor and suit and walked around with my little gun. No, I didn't do that. I simply dressed in a way that made me feel good. When you dress in a way that you know you look good and you know your outfit is slaying and you're comfortable in it, you won't feel unconscious and just constantly be like, oh my god, like I just bought these pair of shorts, but I don't know how I look in them. This is something that really helped, and I unfollowed people on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter. One of those people was Alexis Ren, because every time I saw one of her pictures on my Instagram feed, I would always just feel bad because I'd compare myself to her constantly. Like, there was just this point in my life like, okay, like what am I doing to myself? I'm literally putting myself in a bad mood on purpose, and I unfollowed her. But then I learned to realize that I have to stop comparing myself to others. I just have to compare myself to who I was yesterday. Did I improve from what I was yesterday? And once I learned to not compare myself to others, I followed her right back, and now she motivates me to do better because she's a gorgeous girl. She has like this fit body, and I know she works hard for it. I just learned to get motivated by her. And my final point is, your body is literally your home. You live in it till the day you die. So if you didn't like your house, would you throw rocks at it? Would you break windows? No, you'd go to the Home Depot and buy some paint and work on it. That's what you should do to your body instead of wrecking it down because you're unhappy. Try to build it up and make it a more positive place for yourself. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I could help you. Dress like you love it. Act like you mean it. What am I saying? I love you all so much. All the way to Pluto and back.